Here we go again.
All right, episode. Well, still episode one.
Yeah.
Still
and-
episode one. It's good. Story is continuing along though.
Yeah.
Which is good. So you're.
Soon enough for me and
Yeah.
more of you.
So where are we up to now? So actually, and point out last episode I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Because.
I fucked up the camera.
But that's all right. We're sort of working out the kinks, last little bits.
Yeah.
And everything. So
But now I think it's
we're
recording.
pretty
It
good,
Looks
so-
like that. No, I think I was on my way back to Norway after I found my family here.
Yep,
I spent
that's
my goal was to go to Sri Lanka, find my family, go to India, find myself, and go to Brazil and do an ayahuasca.
Yeah, that's right. You
But
said about
but after finding my family, obviously I stayed in Sri Lanka as long as I could, help
Yep.
them.
So how long was that in the end? This is 2011.
Yes,
I remember.
2011 and the start of 2012. So I stayed for 3 months. I lived with them for 3 months
Yep.
until my money went out and I realized it's time to go back
Go
to
back.
Norway. So I just went back to Norway.
So at this point, were you intending to stay here permanently?
No.
So it was just a test sort of thing anyway.
It was nothing more than that. Nothing, I would say. I had no plan. The plan was to meet my family, find my family, and then go to India and then go to Brazil, and that's it. I didn't
Yep.
have a
Set sort of
no.
just see what happened.
because I couldn't plan. I didn't know if I'm gonna find them.
Yep.
That-
Yeah, I
that-
suppose
that-
very rare that you
Yeah.
you did. So
So I just went back to and the funny thing with this ayahuasca, I emailed my friend after I found my family and said I'm staying here and so on, and he said, "Don't worry about ayahuasca. She will find you anyway."
okay.
So
Okay.
when I come back to Norway, I think it was like 1 month after I got an email that it was an ayahuasca retreat in Norway on the border to Sweden. So
Okay,
I
so what, you smoke it or you eat
No,
it?
you
Is
do.
ayahuasca
You
or-
drink it.
You drink it, okay.
Yeah, you drink it. So I
So it's
went,
legal?
no,
Is it legal? No?
not in
Okay.
Norway. I don't
Not
think so.
Okay.
I don't. Maybe it is. I can't believe it was at the
Okay.
moment. That's
Not from what I've heard about it, I don't think it should be.
No, I think all psychedelics should be legal. I think all drugs. I'm very pro legalization when it comes to drugs because
Yep.
le-
I suppose a lot of them are they're grown anyway. It's like plants.
yeah,
things, like
but
it's
this is
sort of-
some mix. But I just think that people
People should
need-
be able to make their own choice.
No, maybe in one way, but like saying that I think people misunderstand the word legal or legalization
Yep.
because but then you just let it free. No, all narcotics are free now. A 11-year-old can go wherever
Yeah,
and
yeah,
buy
yeah.
drugs from somebody that wants to make money. And
Yeah,
it-
it's just I suppose then it's
Yeah.
more regulated than it's
if
actually.
you regulate it in the way that the government sells the drugs,
Yeah.
like alcohol, like cigarettes, you're always gonna get some.
Well, it's like any sort of medication type drugs that you can buy now.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be looking to buy it on the street because you can just buy it at the chemist.
Yeah.
Like, and I suppose it's probably
Yeah.
the same sort of thing.
A-
Like,
and I think it's if you want to have a healthy society, I think all drugs should be under the government, and
Okay.
it would be tested, and it would be as pure as it should be.
yeah,
Not-
so it's
it-
pharmaceutical
yeah,
grade, I suppose.
yeah.
So, yeah.
but because I'd rather have cocaine that's manufactured in a lab than somebody's sketchy
Somebody's
fucker.
somebody's
In-
backyard. So.
Yeah, in the backyard, or same with speed or whatever. Because it's illegal, you need to do all these sketchy things.
Yeah.
So I just think it's better because the war on drugs or thinking that people don't want to get high is just ridiculous.
Well, it's always going to happen, I suppose.
Yeah, so why have a war on something that's been going on for so long that you can't beat?
Yeah.
It's just waste of
It's,
money, waste of
waste
energy.
of- yeah.
Instead of doing like Portugal or now I think Norway always also
I think
doing-
in like maybe or Canada. I think Canada you can And yeah, like smoke weed and stuff like that. Thailand, you can smoke weed now.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
buy it, so.
and I think that's you're always gonna get people that gets addicted to
Well,
certain
there's
things.
people addicted to a lot of legal
Yeah.
things as well.
So I just think it's very
Sort of hypocritical in a way, I suppose. That
yeah, but he also makes money to make his illegal.
yeah,
You need to
yeah,
understand,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, our biggest thing for police and custom and everything is to take drug
Yeah.
things and
yeah, sort of fines from people and
yeah, and hospitalities for ODs and all this. It's a big business to have it illegal also.
Yep.
So, but it's not. I wouldn't say that it's a society that cares about people that have. Sweden is super like. No, we're not gonna legalize anything.
yeah.
Super hard on it. I think they're gonna be the last one in all Europe that legalize cannabis even.
Okay.
And I just think it's stupid because if you look at Sweden these days, we have so much gun violence that is crazy. I think we have the most gun shootings in all of Europe.
So is it legal to have a gun in Sweden? No. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So I think I think it might have been Switzerland. There's one country there.
Yeah, but of course you can have it's a hunting country. Of course you can have
Yeah.
rifles and things like that,
Yeah.
but you can't carry guns in that way that you can do in America.
In America, just be strapped
No,
up.
but I guess all of the guns that's coming in is because we have open borders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very different to
Like if
Australia. You can't. There's only one way in, and it's
Yeah.
over an ocean. So.
Yeah. So when you have open borders, everything comes in. If I leave my windows and doors open in my house, probably will come in something.
Yeah.
Suddenly some other
Something
people
comes in.
living there also because
Yeah.
my doors are open.
Yeah.
It's just
So, yeah.
common sense to lock your fucking doors. Why do we have locks?
Yeah.
So, and because of the Balkan War in the 90s, lots of guns is still there. It's like all wars, people don't take back the weapon.
Yeah.
They just leave it.
It's sort of.
So
Yeah,
it's
so it's- yeah.
so it's a loss of weapon because now you can just transport it. Everything is a bridge between Denmark and
Yeah, because see, that's the thing. I've
in
never been
Sweden.
to Europe, so
No.
I don't know. I
No,
mean,
we-
from
we've-
what I understand, yeah, you can just go between the countries as much as you want. Like, if you're in the Schengen region, is that what it is?
yeah, but
So-
Schengen is a agreement between couple of countries in European Union. I think.
Yeah.
And but in European Union you can travel without passport if you're a citizen or
yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you're connected now because it's before Sweden was not connected to the rest of Europe because you needed a bridge to Denmark. And now
Oh, so
it's-
is Sweden like an island? Is it?
no, Sweden, Norway, and Finland is together.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then
Yeah, I'm
after
trying to
Finland
picture
is
it,
Russia.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and you can go all the way around on
Yeah,
that
go
way.
through Russia.
Yeah,
Sort of thing.
and
yeah.
then you're connected. But from the other side, Denmark, and then from Denmark to Germany. But now they connected everything, so
So there's a
you can just go
in and out. So
however you
Yeah.
you please to go,
yeah.
and that's a big problem for a lot of things.
Yeah, I suppose it's all around the world, a lot of problems, but
Because you just get so much drugs into to Sweden, and then you have the government that I don't know how we ended up in drug policy, but
yeah, we've sort of
but
taken the
but the thing is like, if you example this is my point of view on it. If the gang violence that happens in Sweden is all about controlling territories about drugs, selling more drugs.
well that's
So-
a lot of what it is. So
And the most common drugs being used in Sweden, except for alcohol, is cannabis.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's even where I'm from, Frankston,
Yeah.
like down just sort of south of Melbourne. A lot of drugs.
Yeah.
It's just drugs as well, heaps of drugs, and if it was more regulated,
Yeah.
I mean, because I even knew when I was in high school, people were drug dealers
Yeah.
and stuff, and so it was just
Yeah, and if you then see it as it is, okay, these people doing money on this, okay, and they legalize the cannabis and take the money from there, okay, you chop one leg of them.
Yeah.
Because not as many that's smoking cannabis all day. Cocaine users is not as much as the cannabis user.
Yeah. Okay.
So you take a lot of the money from
off
this
the streets.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
And then you can fight this gang violence in another way.
Well, I suppose that. Yeah, it's hard to say because then there would probably be gang violence from something else.
Well, but you need your customers, and it is
like turf wars, I suppose.
yeah, but it will be the same like you trying to get the narcotics out.
Yeah.
Like oh, we're taking it. Yeah, but then okay, they have narcotics, or less people using narcotics. Yeah, how
Yeah.
they're fighting about then? Then they're fighting about the customers.
Yeah.
Then they were gonna
Yeah,
kill the
exactly,
next.
yeah, that's
so,
what- yeah, it's
so the only way to sort this thing out is to legalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, it's a hard one, I suppose.
Yeah, I
yeah.
because
Yeah.
now for 40 years or whatever it is, then the Reagan administration started this war on drugs.
Yeah.
Right? It's just nothing has happened.
Well, I suppose, yeah, it's one of those things because things like alcohol is so much worse for you than like just smoking some weed. But yet alcohol is perfectly legal.
Yeah, but it's
Weed,
not
like-
perfectly legal that you need to be 16, you need to be 18, you need to be 21, you need to be
Yeah.
so it's not like you just can go wherever you want and buy it. It's on regulation.
Yeah, for the most part.
yeah, but you're always gonna have some sketchy things. You're always
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
That's just the human. You can go and buy a puppy from a kennel,
Yeah.
but you also can go and buy a puppy on the black market.
Yeah.
So that's just
Same
human.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody wants to
I
make
suppose
money.
it takes out that need to do it in some shady area when it is readily available.
Yeah, and I think it teaches people also. Okay, I can choose this.
Yep.
And for children and teenagers, everything that is forbidden is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
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 So instead to that your 14-year-old daughter be interested in taking cocaine or smoking weed and have to go to some fucking ghetto to get this, and they rape her
Yeah. Yeah.
when she knows I can wait a couple of years and
yeah,
I can
and
go
then
to
do
this.
it legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it changed the mind, but now when people have the mind of I want to do drugs, they need to do this interaction with people.
With sketchy people.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's just a vicious cycle continues sort of
yeah.
happen.
So
But anyway, bit off topic there.
yeah, but I think it's interesting because
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I will.
Well, because where I grew up, as I said, in Frankston, it's renowned for a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
And a lot of sketchy people.
Yeah.
So I suppose if it was something that was more regulated, it's likely, well, potentially, it
Yeah.
would sort of reduce that a bit.
Because
but,
nobody forces you to use drugs.
yeah.
It's a solution for many people. Like I went to drugs because I didn't
A
feel
lot of things,
good.
yeah, like peer pressure as well, and it's just sort of, or just
I have no idea about this peer pressure, but I guess that I just made a choice. Oh, look at this! Somebody has weed. Let's try this.
Well, I suppose
Yeah.
that goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
You're at a party, someone's
Yeah.
got some, everybody's doing some. You're like, oh yeah, I'll have a go, and
Yeah,
suppose it's,
maybe.
yeah.
I just make my own decisions and I've done it. Like it's never been like, you should try this, you should try this, or somebody else. If I don't, it's like, fuck you, I do this by myself.
Yeah.
And but I guess in bigger groups, if somebody's smoking weed and you want to be the cool kid,
Well, you want to
also,
be in with the
then
cool kids.
I guess it's could be like that.
Yeah.
But I have no experience about that. But I think it's, for me, the drug addiction I would say is the most important part of growing as a human being.
Yep.
Because you just fight your mind all the time. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really the drug that is the problem. It's what it does.
Well, I think for everybody in one way or another, sort of, growing the mind, as you say, like, happens through some kind of trauma or some kind of like personal development to sort of some kind of battle that you need to fight.
Yeah,
in some
what
way,
you're fighting, I think, is like you don't want to feel like you feel in the
Yeah,
moment.
yep.
And drugs, narcotics or alcohol is the perfect way to escape
Yep.
the now, to
Yep.
feel something else. You take
Yep.
2 shots of tequila, in 20 minutes you're gonna feel something else.
Yeah.
You smoke
Yep.
1 joint in 3-4 minutes, you're gonna feel something else. You take a nose of cocaine in a
Yep.
couple of seconds, you're gonna feel something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you don't, if you don't happy with your mental state at the moment, and you
Well, it's a quick fix.
yeah,
sort
it's a
of
quick
thing.
fix, and this quick
So-
fix become your daily
Yeah, just a
routine,
daily. Yeah. Yep.
because you want to feel what you feel when you are high, because it's so much better than you when you're not high.
Yep. Yeah, and
So-
they
so-
don't actually work on then the real issues in their life. It's just a way to
No,
sort
and
of
I
mask it a little bit.
yeah, and I don't think people are really. It's not easy to work on your real stuff when you're young.
Oh no, I mean,
Yeah.
exactly. When you're young, you
Yeah.
don't have any money. You don't
Yeah.
have really any experience.
No,
You don't know on particular things. You won't be that educated
No.
as well. So it's hard to then where do you start?
yeah.
I suppose.
And I feel,
really.
and that's the sad thing. If you, if, because I have friends that can take drugs, and just leave them for a year.
Yep. Well, that's like I don't even
No.
really take drugs.
No.
But even drinking, like if I want to have a beer, I just have one.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, if I want another one, maybe in a couple of I don't know. So
Yeah.
and I mean, when I was younger, it was never like I used to go out and party like on the weekends, but it was never a problem
yeah,
in the sense that I had to do it. It was just fun to do, and I would drink a lot.
Yeah.
Like really drunk, but it wasn't an addiction. It was just like if there was a weekend I couldn't go out, it
No.
was fine. Whereas I know a lot of people, it becomes that addiction
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they can't help themselves. They have to. Sort of do it.
and but when you, I'm just the opposite. If I go out, say we're gonna go surf after this,
Yep.
and I drink 1 margarita.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just I want 8 margaritas.
Yeah,
I want a bag
yeah.
of cocaine, and I
Yeah.
want to have probably 10 grams of cannabis, and then
Okay.
just go for it, and then just start smoking daily.
Has that happened at all?
Yeah,
Since
yeah,
you,
yeah,
since
yeah.
you sort of okay. So
Yeah,
you know,
I can't. I say it like this. I probably can go out and have a drink,
Yep.
but I'm not gonna try.
Because you don't want to risk.
No, and I'm pretty happy with my mental state, and I don't.
Well, it's
have,
almost like my dad's uncle. I remember he died a couple of years ago, but he said I don't think he drank until I think it was his 50th birthday, and he just said that it was really because he didn't know how it would affect him,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to risk it because I think so. This was my grandfather's brother, and so I think their dad was a bit of a drunk.
Yeah.
Apparently, like I never met him, but and so he was like he didn't want to be like that, so he didn't want to risk something bad happen, like his personality changing because he was just content with
Yeah.
how he was. So he never felt that need to drink. So
No, and I don't feel the need either. Really, at the moment, maybe in a few hours I feel. but
wait,
but,
so, yeah,
but when you have take some time off, and you just start accepting what you're feeling, and just because feelings are not permanent if you're not in.
yeah.
a
Well, I
deep
mean, because I didn't drink for
depression.
years, and
Yeah.
that was a combination of reasons. Like I had a lot to do.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to spend the money on it to start with.
Yeah.
Just too busy, but I just didn't feel that need as well to drink. Like
Yeah.
it just wasn't sort of there. So
No, and when you don't have the addiction or this urge in your mind like many people have,
Yeah.
that you can't stop. And when you don't have that, then it's like,
well, I think for me with drugs, it's almost the opposite. Like I find drugs a bit scary. Like I don't want to use. Like I'm concerned. I'll take something. Like I'm worried. I'll be one of those people who takes something and then like dies, or those rare cases, or just like something
Yeah.
goes in my brain and then that's it,
Yeah.
and I can't get it back
Yeah.
to normal. Like that's more what concerns me with drugs, and what I would
that's a good concern, I think.
yeah, and what I could potentially do on them.
Yeah.
Like if you who knows what's deep within your sort of your
Yeah.
psyche and everything. But for me, it's like, what if I have some bad trip and then I can't actually get back to reality the way that it is, and then that's it. And it's sort of like then I've always got this like was like a schizophrenia type thing
Yeah.
or something, which can have like something like that. That's why I'm a bit like, no.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not.
it's not for me. Like it's sort of. I mean, I've smoked a bit of weed here and there
Yeah.
on occasion when I was
Yeah.
like, teens, early 20s. Oh, actually, not even early. No, I think it was like 20. Yeah, when I was living on the Gold Coast, we would go down to Byron Bay a lot, and that was like everybody was smoking weed there.
Yeah,
On occasion, would have it there, and that was it. That was the last I've had any weed, and so that was
yeah.
2010. So it's that 13 years ago.
No bad trips on LSD or it can be.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't do anything about it. It's not like in reality, if something crazy's happened, you can leave. You
Yeah.
can just be like, all right,
No,
out that
you're
door.
stuck with yourself.
It's in your mind, and nobody can help you. Like nobody can actually get into your mind and fix it. And that's what sort of
No, I
happens to
think
me.
that's why people suggest if you're taking LSD, you should be with somebody that taking or
Yeah.
any psychedelics that you should be. I do appreciate.
But what
more
like do you actually? Do any of these drugs actually make you? Because I know they say you sort of escape reality, but are you always then sort of present, like in your, or do you like hallucinate things and you're not even actually sort of in reality? Do you know what I mean?
but if you're talking about narcotics, it is so different. Like
Yeah.
you need to.
Because see, that's the thing. I don't know enough about drugs to
No,
know.
but
like,
but say psychedelics like mushroom, LSD, ecstasies. I guess can be some psychedelics. Ayahuasca, all these peyote, that's psychedelic, and that's I think that's medicine in many ways. But you can
Yeah.
misuse them also.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can take LSD and sit home and meditate on that and so, but you also can go out and having a fucking rave party for 24 hours and have fun.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm sure different things affect different people in different ways. Like the times when I have smoked weed, I get bad symptoms.
Yeah.
Like I get like stressed out.
Yeah.
Like one of those like wounds really tight. Like I'm stressing
Yeah.
out and like heart's racing and that's what happens with me.
Yeah.
Whereas I know so many people who they're just laughing and having a good time and
Yeah.
it's just like, and I
But-
think
but-
it's probably a personality thing as well. and just-
Yeah, but then comparing
brain chemistry.
weed and LSD is just like comparing a giraffe and ant. I think.
Yeah, okay.
Because of course weed. I think even weed can cause some hallucination and so on. But what I feel with psychedelics, what's happening is, say you have now we sit in here and discuss this topic.
Yep.
But when you're taking a psychedelic, it's just open all borders in your brain and everything just flooding. So
Okay.
you
think about a lot more, but you don't sort of then. Do you hallucinate?
yes,
So you
sometimes.
hallucinate
Yeah,
as
but
well?
what is an hallucination? I would say that things is moving around in here and there. It's not like, of course, when you overdose something, you get
Yeah.
these beautiful colors and all this and so on. But I think only on lots of ecstasy I have like pure hallucination that
Do you
people
actually-
are in front of me, but there are no people there and things like
Okay,
that.
okay.
But with LSD, it's more like you get these colors and things like that. Well, ayahuasca was quite.
So have you actually had any of this ayahuasca then? Have you tried it? Or
Yeah, I did it for days retreat in Norway.
Oh, so you actually went to the
Yeah.
So you
Back-
actually did
back
go
to-
back to the story.
Back to the story.
Sorry.
Yeah, so but my intention was to go back to Norway and start working. So I just went back, start working again, and trying to figure out how to what do I do now.
Yep.
And
yep.
then my family contacted me again and told me that my father wants to see me also.
So this is the Sri Lankan
Family,
Sri
yeah,
Lankan family.
yeah. So I went back. I did it ayahuasca with the intention of stop using drugs.
Okay.
And
okay.
the whole story is going to take 2 hours to explain ayahuasca.
Yeah, we'll say that next video.
Yeah,
video,
next
so.
week we can take a discussion
Yeah,
about
yeah,
an ayahuasca tree. But my intention was to stop using drugs. That
Yep.
was just my intention for that.
Were you using them a lot at this stage, or?
Mm, I smoked weed daily, but I smoke weed daily since I was 16.
Okay.
Like it's
Yeah.
just been. But in Norway at that time, I take a lot of cocaine. The more money I made, that's
Suppose,
more
yeah.
easier to get.
I suppose it, yeah, it depends what's in the bank account
Yeah.
as to how much you take.
But the last years in Norway, I used a lot of cocaine. That's for sure.
Okay.
I have one guy who coming every Friday with 5 grams of cocaine every Friday like that.
How much do you take in like one shot? Like what sort of does it depend on the person, or is there a normal sort of scale to go by?
If I
or-
say it like this, if you only have 1 gram and you offer me a line, don't offer me a line
because
that's
you'll take the whole thing, or it's not worth it
just,
to.
it's not worth it.
Okay. Okay.
It's just not
So
worth it.
You build up that I suppose it's like alcohol.
No, I don't think it's the tolerance that is so happy. It's just like I like to get super high.
Yeah. If you're
And
gonna
I-
do it, you want to make
yeah.
it. It's like a lot of people. Yeah, they won't bother just having like one beer. Like it's
No.
not worth it to them. If they're gonna drink, they want to get
It's
blind.
like looking at a stripper. I don't want to look
Yeah.
at somebody taking off the clothes and I
and
can't
then
have
it's, and
sex.
then it's sort of,
What's the point of this? It's like you offer me a line of coke to be nice. Yeah, but that's not
that's
nice,
it.
really.
Like, yeah, it's
If you come to me and say, I have a line of coke and I have 5 grams and we can enjoy all night, okay,
Yeah.
fine, let's go.
yeah.
But
It's like you're just kicking it off, but then that's it. Party
Yeah.
stops at
yeah,
10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yep.
so it's like a rave party and somebody just called the cops on you. And you
Yeah,
just,
at
oh, fuck.
midnight. So yeah.
So, but I went back to Sri Lanka again to meet my father, and I stayed for 2 months, just
Okay,
to meet
yep.
him, and so.
Did you stay with him, or this
no.
is still in that?
They separated it, so I guess I get my this alcoholic addiction part of it because he's an alcoholic.
Okay.
He's a heavy drinker.
I think it is a genetic thing. They say things like
I have no idea,
alcoholism
but
and
it could be.
could be a
Yeah.
you never know. So,
Yeah, I don't know, but he's my family home, my Swedish parents are not heavy drinkers or anything, and
Yeah.
my brothers, my Swedish brothers, biological to my parents in Sweden, they don't have this addiction things
Yep.
or anything. So maybe it is. They say alcoholism is, but who knows? But
Yep.
we quite similar on that point.
Yeah, okay. Yep,
Anyway,
I suppose it's not exactly something that's rare either. Like a lot of people are alcoholics.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not like it could happen for a lot of reasons, I guess.
but I seen it with friends that had parents that's alcoholic. They go to start drinking or they don't drink at all.
Okay.
They just
yeah.
oh fuck, I don't want that life.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
want to
suppose,
be-
yeah, you either see it
Yeah.
as normal and you go down that path, the
Yeah.
same path, or you see it and you're like, I don't want that, and you do the complete opposite,
Yeah.
which can happen in a lot of different sort of aspects in life. Like you'll see your parents do certain things. Sometimes you'll just see it, that's normal. That's exactly what I like, just how I'm going to be. Other times people will see it and be like, no, I don't want to be anything like that.
Hmm.
It's a complete opposite, and then they'll do, literally complete opposite. So.
Yeah, and but so it was very confusing over this time to know what I do. Okay, now I found my family, and so my plan was to collect more money in
Okay,
Norway
yep.
and just work, and then somehow move to Sri Lanka. But then this pain of it was very weird to find my family that I've been wanting to meet under so many years for so
Yeah.
long time, and then suddenly, oh shit, I need to work and I'm doing this. So I think I spent 1.5 year more in Norway.
Okay.
It must be. Oh no, this is shit. I forgot about that. No, I stayed to 2013 and decided that okay, I move to Sri Lanka. But then
Were you thinking permanently move at this stage? Do you know?
Yeah,
or
yeah, I have no idea. I just
Sort of.
finished. I lived in Norway for a couple of years, and I thought it was okay
Yep.
to do something else and figure something out in Sri Lanka. But on my way to Sri Lanka, I went to Sweden to meet up with my friends. It's summer and everything,
Yep.
and I met a girl that I known for a long time, but she never been single, and I never been
Okay,
single at the
okay,
moment.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
hooked up, and then she was going to Thailand, I was going to Sri Lanka, and we meet up in Sri Lanka. But then we fall in love and all blah blah blah, all that. So I went back to Sweden and tried to start a normal life
Okay. Okay.
in Sweden, and I just
with her.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we moved back to my hometown in Sweden, and then we moved to Norway, and then we break up, and I just want to go back to Sri Lanka. That was just
Okay. About how long did this?
I moved back to Sri Lanka in 16, so we were together a couple of years. So
Yep.
this was 13, we moved, so 14, so 3 years after we come back from.
Yep.
So I think we broke up in the spring of 2000. No, the winter of 2015. Then
Okay,
I
okay.
went back in the winter 2016 to Sri
Yep.
Lanka.
Yep.
And then I don't know what to do. So I just started to move around and checking out places,
Yeah.
being with
Yeah.
my family mostly.
Yep.
And then I just decided to, okay, I need to find a place and I like Tuna Vatuna.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Oh, it is. Yeah. Nice sort of spot.
and
So.
I met, this must be 2013. I met this Swedish guy who has a hotel here, and he always, because we both worked for a long time in restaurant business, and he just, you can just come here and just work. You don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you can, and I just know I don't. want
That
to
sort
work.
of here in Unu
Yeah.
Yep.
So he has, you can come here and work, and I just know I don't want to work. I don't want to work. But then, when I decided to move here, I need to do something,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't like.
It's not even, I suppose, about the money as much. It's just you need something. You
Yeah,
need to be doing,
because
so you can't just be
you-
sitting around like all day.
I don't
doing
really
nothing.
have the need for lying on a beach.
Yeah,
Like,
you can only do that for it's so long, and then
And
that's the most boring thing ever.
So what happened? Yeah, I started working there because I moved. I went down here. I didn't have a house. I think I rented a room or something like that first. And then I met this beautiful Russian woman. So we start working together.
Okay. Yep.
And then we rented a house. And then I just started to doing things I really love. I started to train really much again. Because I come back from a long sickness of sarcoidosis, which is an immune system disease
Yep.
that attacked my lungs.
Yeah.
uh,
You've told me about that.
So it's only had 40% lung capacity for many years, and
Yep.
high doses of. So I just felt so much better. So I just started to train again,
Yep.
and it was so much easier here than back home in Sweden. For some reason, I don't know why.
Oh, it
but-
is. I find that as well.
Uh,
It's just so much easier to just get in a good routine.
Yeah, I mean
Usually-
it more of the climate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
From I would thought that, oh fuck, it's so hot and everything, but I guess my body is made for this.
Yeah. So yeah.
So
yep.
it's so much
It's
easier.
in the blood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it not so stiff. You don't need so much warm up in that way. Now I do
Yeah.
warm up because I'm getting older,
Yep.
but it was just easier.
Yeah, no, I find the same thing as
Yeah.
well. Even when I'm in Thailand
Yeah.
as well, like just the workouts, even though they're hard, it's just sort of
Yeah,
it's hard to explain. It's just sort of better. It just
yeah,
feels better. Like
yeah,
it just feels better. I don't know.
It does.
So-
It just
Yeah, whether it's like the humidity, so you're always kind of warmed up, like sweating a bit.
Yeah.
And so you can just sort of get into it a bit more, or I don't
So,
know.
yeah,
I
I'd
suppose
say-
from Sweden as well, it's cold
Yeah.
there, so maybe it's
and I also think it's the pleasure of be able to work out outside all year round.
exactly. Yep. And just the nice environment.
Yeah.
I suppose it's sort of because when you're working out, although you're working out your body, it's still your mind as well. And if you're working out in a really nice environment,
Yeah.
it's going to be different to if you're working out somewhere that's just dark and cold and like it's
absolutely.
Just sort of what it is.
But I agree with what you said. Also, this when you have the time to work out and plan your workout instead of plan your workout around your work.
Well,
And
yeah,
just
'cause I mean,
plan your
yeah.
workouts and then okay, this part I have for work is
Yeah.
okay.
Well, see, because I've never had like a full-time 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Like I've always, when I was a teenager, I had a couple of little jobs. Then when I was 20, I became a personal trainer. Worked at a couple of gyms for about 6 months each, but that was like a subcontract role. So I still wrote my own schedule, dealt with my own clients, and you pretty much just like pay rent to the gym and you use their facilities.
Yeah.
Then from that, I started my gym,
Yeah.
and from that, that's like I've never had like a day job, and I don't know how people do it.
No.
Honestly, like I don't like to me it's great like that you like and I think for me, which talk about in another video, but my story of coming here was just I was gonna do anything
Yeah.
to not fall into that trap,
Yeah.
like, and whatever it took, that's how I ended up here.
Yeah.
I was never gonna do it. I couldn't do it. It's just like the mentality of doing it. So,
Yeah,
and I think that's with the training, the fact that I can just write my own schedule.
Yeah.
When I want to train, I'll just train. Same with you.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, and it's just
I think
so
that's
different,
important.
so-
Yeah, because then when you have that luxury of putting your training first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's something that you do need to put first, but people don't put it first.
No.
They put it at the bottom.
Yeah.
Health and fitness. It's at the bottom
It
of it.
should be the
It should be
other
the
way
other way
around.
around.
Yeah.
And it's just not. And it's just it's not just the body, it's the mind.
Yeah.
As well, and people they just don't get it, and that's how they fall into this trap and just this cycle of just every day just the same old thing, and it just gets worse and worse. They get more and more out of shape, more and more depressed. It just continues. So it's just
You
it's
need to
crazy,
get this
like-
routine of.
and they get so far into it and so deep into this bad situation that then they just can't get out of it.
Yeah.
It just continues. To
Oh
go
well,
down.
they talk themselves that they
Yeah.
can't do it. I
Yeah.
think it's
I mean, there's always a way.
Yeah.
If out, it's just people. It's hard. Sort of it becomes hard.
But
So
if it wasn't hard, everybody would be fit.
exactly.
And if
yeah.
it was not hard to learn to surf, everybody
Yeah,
would be a surfer.
Everyone would be good at everything.
Yeah.
If everything was easy.
Yeah. So, but it takes a lot of commitment to have your fitness on point,
Yep.
your food on point, and the thing I think is little misunderstood in the fitness world is that if I need to be fit, I can't eat this and this. Well, maybe you don't need to eat all this bullshit for 6 months at least, and put all this time into eat a healthy diet and train what you need. After you can just maintain your body, and I don't say that I am super.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Like I'm not like. After a while, you don't want those things either
No.
because the results are too good.
Yeah.
I don't want to sabotage it.
Yeah.
And when I'm seeing the results,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't want that, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather this, and you actually don't want it.
Yeah.
And it just continues along. And then on occasion, you might.
Yeah,
this will happen.
we went out and why not have a burger?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So
because it doesn't hurt.
it doesn't
you.
hurt. Yeah.
No.
And it gives you that opportunity. It's like taking rest days from the gym. You know, you sort of you have your structured plan. And you don't necessarily need to plan for those because they do come because that's just life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same with going out. Things you don't need to do it all the time.
No.
Because then when those opportunities do come, then it's sort of it's special as well. Like and you enjoy it more. So
Exactly.
whereas
I
if you're
really
having
enjoy a burger.
if you're having pizza and burgers every single night, like like then it takes away from that real enjoyment because it's just normal to you.
Yeah. I'm really surprised here in Gaul is no Burger King, is no McDonald's.
Nah. There's a KFC. There's a KFC in Gaul.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah,
I didn't know
KFC.
that.
I've
Now I
gone there
know.
a lot to get I'd get the soft serve ice cream.
Yeah.
And because it was air conditioned. So years ago, I would catch the bus in before I had my bike. Catch the bus in, go to the bank, do what I had to do because it's right near sort of the bank district sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to KFC, be in there for a while, enjoying the air conditioning, get one of the soft serve ice cream, and then get the bus back. So
But which fast food is where you can get a bucket with? Is that?
that's KFC.
Is that?
Yeah,
But is
KFC.
that the same? Is the same?
I don't know. No, they have rice and stuff here. I think they do.
Rice?
They had the chicken, but the meals are a bit different. I mean, it might even be different in Sweden as well. To what
I
I'm
don't
used to
know
in,
if
in
we
Australia.
have KFC even in Sweden.
Yeah, because in Australia it's all like, yeah, you get the bucket or you get the meals. But here you can get the meals have rice in them. Yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
not all of them, but you can actually get like a biryani sort of
You
chicken rice thing from KFC.
You never escape rice in
Yeah,
this
I know
country.
they love
I
it.
think
And
even,
spices. Everything here's got to be spicy.
Yeah.
It's always got to just be full of chili. Like
but I
everything,
think
yeah.
even Burger King serves rice and curry if you.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, probably Domino's as well. Like
I
they just
see.
love rice and curry.
Interesting. But so I just and that's one of the things also. But after a year living here, so 2017 or something like that, I can't live here. This is too because
Yeah.
it's just moving to another country when you're grown up and moving alone.
Oh, it is.
And
Yeah, I know
yes.
what you mean. It's
What the fuck I'm doing here? And you start missing the way you lived for all your life, the simplest way of handling things. You need to go to the bank. You take boom in
Yeah,
Europe.
in and out.
Yeah,
it's-
and all these just time-consuming things, and people are not on time, and then it is this,
Yeah.
this, and I just had this mental
oh,
breakdown.
I know. Yeah, I've had that many times.
Yeah.
Many times here.
And I just, what the fuck is this? So I remember this day, or evening before sunset. I just rolled myself a joint, went out to this perfect place I had outside where I lived, and I was sitting, and I told myself like, okay, it's fine. You did this. You find your family. You did all this. You moved there. You lived there for a little more than a year. Nobody gonna say anything. You can be happy what you did. You did
Yeah.
what you promised yourself. But if you gonna live there, you need to stop bitching about everything.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to accept that you are not in your environment, even if you look like them.
Yep. Yeah.
You're not a part of this culture. You're not a part of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
The only thing that's connected with you is you was born here. You have this skin type, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yep. The mentality.
You will
completely
never
different.
be Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Well, that's even like my grandparents. They left here. So my grandma was 21. My grandpa was 26. And they lived their whole lives in Australia. So the other way around. But they were always very Sri Lankan. Very Sri Lankan. They had their Sri Lankan friends. Everything they did was Sri Lankan. That's just because obviously those years of growing up, even though it was only like a quarter of their lives, it played such a big part, and that's just how they're developed, and that's how they are,
Yeah.
and everything, and it would never change. If they came back here tomorrow, they would just blend right in.
Yeah.
Like they are it's within them.
Yeah.
So
And I think like I went to a Swedish family. Just
Yeah.
boom. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with anything with
Yeah.
Sri Lanka. And that was also a hard because in my weird way of dreaming, I thought like, I'm just gonna blend in.
yeah, exactly.
I blend in totally more better in Sweden than I
Yeah.
blend in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka.
Yeah.
It was so weird too. So I just accepted, okay, I really want to stay here because just started surf, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna do it because I did boxing a lot, and I want a new sport.
Yeah.
I played a
Yeah.
lot of golf, and I did a lot of boxing. Golf is too long to go to Kandy to
Yeah,
have
I think
a-
there's one down in Coggala or something. Oh, they got this mini golf there. Have you seen
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
turn
I got
a
it.
mini golf now.
But that one in Kogala, I don't want to call that a golf course.
Yeah, that was the same. Like,
But-
so I like golf, but it's not really a.
But it's too far to go to get your game on again.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
Then
you
I need
go
to stay.
once every
yeah,
now and then,
yeah.
maybe. Like, it's not a.
I need to stay up there, but I don't want to live there.
Yeah.
So then I found surfing, and I want to learn this, and that's not gonna happen if I need to be in Sweden or just spend 1 month here and so on.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, okay, let's accept. You will struggle with some things, of course, because this is not
It's just yeah,
just not
Sri
me.
Lanka.
Yeah. And you just need to love the way not necessarily love the way people do it here,
But
but
accept it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sort of at least understand it,
Yeah.
and understand that's how it is,
yeah.
and it's not going to change.
No,
Never going to
no,
change.
no,
This country
yeah,
has
yeah.
been exactly the same for, as I said, grandparents left 70 years ago.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, and
It hasn't changed.
I don't think my way. That's what I compare, but this way is better. But no, I don't think the Swedish way should be better.
It's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different. Every country has pros and cons,
Yeah,
and you just got to then decide which ones work for you.
yeah,
Is really what it is, and that's why, like as we've sort of said, so many times we'll meet Sri Lankan people, and they'll be like, "You're like you have an Australian passport or you have a Swedish
Yeah.
passport. Why are you living in Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you be living there?" And but they don't seem to understand that it's not better or worse. It's just different.
Yeah.
And it's what sort of works best for you.
Yeah.
What it is.
yeah, and
The grass is always greener, as they say.
yeah, they say that, but I just think they water the grass on the other side better.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's just when you haven't seen, you need to see the two sides and live the two sides.
Exactly, yeah.
And when you've done that in a couple of years, you can compare.
Yep.
And it's always going to be some good from here and good from the freedom I have in Sri Lanka. Yeah, I can't find that.
Oh,
in
I
the-
consider like myself and then yourself as well incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
Like just the situations that we're sort of in, even though it's like for yourself and for it's been a difficult journey to put it all in place
Yeah.
to be able to enjoy the benefits from it.
Yeah.
There's still benefits that a lot of people will never have
Yeah.
and will never actually understand.
Yeah.
And it's it's pretty good.
And
It's
if
good.
I
It's a
was
good life. It's a good life.
smarter, I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah.
But you learn as you're getting older
Yeah.
and
And you take the opportunities that are presented to you,
mm,
and you can either go one way with them or the other. But if you sort of use them to your advantage in a good way,
yeah.
then that's
And-
what it's all about.
And
so.
if I go back in my mind and I just see myself in the 17, 18, 19, 20 around there, I couldn't see any possible way to get out of my hometown.
Yeah.
If I can just see it now, like I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be stuck here forever. And lots of my friends are stuck in my town.
Yeah, well, that's
Uh,
that's the same with me. I've seen over the years when I've gone back, I've seen people from high school, and I just look at them, and it's like, like they'll be sort of fat now, and like one guy, like I saw him. It's this whole thing, like a wedding of someone, but he was always like fit when we were young as teenagers, and I saw him then when I went back 2017. It was at the end of 2017, and he was always fit. And yeah, I saw him and he was just like pale and fat now, and like he's just still living in Frankston. Just he was working at the Good Guys, which is just like it's just a retail store, which is fine. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that if that's the lifestyle that you want.
Yeah.
And it's just that sort of. I think, I don't know. Really, he wasn't really doing anything, and that's sort of
Yeah,
for a
it's
lot of
easy
a
to-
lot of people. Where from Frankston, they just stay in Frankston.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, and it's just a continual sort of thing. So.
But it's hard to take you get out of
Yeah,
your
it is. Yeah.
and probably not so much getting out of your city is getting out of your mind.
Yep. Yeah, the comfort zone
yeah.
sort of thing, and that's.
I
I still remember the first night when I was here,
Yeah.
and I had only been. I'd come here for 2 weeks the year prior on like a family luxury trip kind of thing for 2 weeks. Then I went to Bali, then Thailand just for a couple of weeks each, and I was just sort of sorting out, seeing where I was going to go, and then the start of the next year I just booked a flight to Sri Lanka. Like I didn't know anybody here, didn't have any family here, didn't really have any money, didn't have a job lined up, didn't have any. I just got on a flight, and that was that. And I just got here, and then I sort of started my first business in that week.
Yeah.
I'd never been to Unawatuna because this was all in Colombo. came down, and then that was that. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's hard to do, but you
Yeah.
sort of you just gotta. Otherwise, you don't. Like the alternative is, I would still just be in Frankston now, just like everybody
Yeah,
else.
and you
so-
can't really wait for the right opportunity,
Yeah.
because I think the right opportunity will be when you may.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah.
You know, if you're waiting for the right time, it's never gonna happen.
No,
So I know,
So,
yeah, I
yes.
believe that. So
and I think it's like when you're driving a car in nighttime, and you only see whatever you see
Yeah,
in front
exactly,
of you.
yeah.
But when you're coming closer, you see
You
little
see.
more and little more and little more, and I think
Yeah.
that's the way of you don't need to see the goal, but you need to
you need to
start.
see, it starts, and
Yeah.
over time you'll start to see
Yeah.
more and more. So it'll just
And it's just the way you need to do it. And the thing is about life, it's just you wake up every morning if you're not dead, and you get 24 hours, and everybody has 24 hours.
yep,
And if you think that I don't understand how this person can do all this, well, then you maybe do something wrong, because
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
this person has 24 hours also.
yep.
But it's
And I think then people make excuses to try and justify it to themselves. They'll be like, oh, well, yeah, but that person has this,
Yeah.
and that person has this, and I don't have that.
yeah,
So that's why they're able to do it and I'm not. When
Yeah.
they don't necessarily know that that's the case,
no.
but they're just trying to justify to make themselves feel better.
Yeah,
So
but
the-
that's the easiest way, like because we don't want to see our own faults. And
Well, even if someone's out of shape and they see somebody who's in really good shape,
Hmm.
they'll just be like, "Oh, but that person's just genetically gifted to be in really good shape,
yeah,
so that's why they're in shape."
Yeah.
Like they're just lucky. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
how do you, like they might have, like who's to say? So
there it can be that also, but in the end you need to work out
yeah,
anyway.
exactly. That's what that's what I mean. Whereas they don't know that, but they're just using that as an
Yeah.
excuse for themselves to then make themselves feel better. Whereas the actual fact is they've probably worked out really hard and they haven't.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and that mindset is super hard to have, comparing all the time and put yourself so under what you really are, because that's what it's a growing process to learn how to handle these things, and your thought patterns, patterns, not parents,
Yeah.
patterns,
Yep.
to understand. Okay, why do I judge this?
Yep.
Okay, I'm jealous. Okay, why are you jealous? He has something or she has something that I don't have.
Yep.
And why do I don't have that? Because I haven't put in the time. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have this.
Yep.
I don't have this at the moment. Can I get this? Yes, I can. This. How do I do that? I don't want to study this.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay,
So,
then
yep.
you look like this, and this person look like this. But if you don't want to put in the time, you're not going to reach this.
Yep.
So you need to do this simple.
I think it's a very common thing this day, like in this day and age now.
Yeah.
A lot of people just make excuses to try and justify their inadequacies
yeah,
where other people have sort of excelled
yeah.
and they haven't, and they then just come up with excuses.
Fuck, I've done
themselves.
it all my life.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
my life. And I also know I would have more money now if
Yeah.
I didn't sitting watching stupid YouTube reels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can spend 3 hours and
Just sort of, yep.
and I thought, what are you doing? You work? Stop this bullshit.
Yep.
And the thing is that in today's society is so many distraction things. We
Yeah,
have our
no, I
phone,
know,
we
yeah.
have all the internet, we have all this, and it's super hard. So now you really need to be sharp. You really need to be disciplined. You really need to be.
Oh, it's so easy to just get left behind.
Yeah.
Like so easy, just sit there, just scroll through, and and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
People aren't sort of.
And that's why I think also that it's so much easier in many ways to have a 9 to 5 work, because
Oh, it is. It's the sort of the sort of fallback.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they're like, well, this is too hard.
yeah,
So I'll just accept it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what a lot of people do. They just
Yeah.
accept it.
Yeah.
They'll accept that this is too hard for them, too much effort. So I'll just accept a 9 to 5 job and whatever.
Yeah.
I've got to do it.
but
That's just
but
what
I
it
can
is.
feel that sometimes also, because this is so much self-discipline you need to have to to be a freelancer or whatever you
Yeah,
are.
exactly, yeah.
Like you decide when you work, and if you get lazy one day and you spend 6 hours not doing, and then oh fuck, I don't want to work now. Now I want to go surf, and then I just go surf, and then I come home and tired as fuck because I surfed 2 hours. I don't want to work now.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's so
yeah.
easy to just push everything, but you just need okay. But when somebody told you like, hey, you start work at 7 and you go off 16, you get this amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's that sort of just people like that consistency where they don't really have to think too much about it. They just go, they do what they have to do, they get paid, and then they go home,
And
and then they forget about it.
And that's the thing with personal trainers.
Yeah.
Why in the hell do you need a personal trainer really today?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The information's there,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of it is putting it together and having that accountability.
Yeah, you
That's
want
sort of-
somebody
yeah.
that tells you
Yeah,
what to do.
Keeps you sort of
Yeah, yes, tell me to do 100 squats, tell me
Yeah.
to do 50 burpees, tell me to do the push-up correctly, tell me this, tell me this, tell me this. I
Yep.
do it.
Yep.
And it's just much more easier than I need to do this alone.
Because then a lot of people don't want to take the time to really learn as well. They'll just, well, I mean, yeah, it's the same sort of thing. They don't want to learn how to start their own business
Yeah.
and go through all those difficult times
Yeah.
of failure
Yeah.
from it, and it takes a long time if you do it yourself, which is the case with anything.
Yeah.
They're happy to just pay someone and just
Yeah.
tell them what to do. Exactly, and then that's so, which is fine. I mean, look, different. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just what sort of works for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, but that wouldn't work for me.
But it,
Like, I
no,
wouldn't want
and
it, like-
it wouldn't work for me either. But the thing is with the business, you can, of course, you can work, but you can have good people among. But when it comes to fitness,
Yeah.
nobody gonna do the push-up for
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
That's that.
Yep.
Nobody
That's
gonna
the good
do
thing, yeah.
do that. And but a personal trainer, I think it's good in the beginning.
Yep.
If you're totally out of it, but then lots of people complaining about like it's gonna take time to get
Yep.
fit if you haven't training in a long time. It's gonna take some time. I posted today a photo of me with 2016, I think.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I this is 7 years ago. It's taking okay. I got fit pretty fast, but keeping that,
Yep.
that's the
Yeah,
trick.
to maintain, and you
Yeah.
always have to maintain.
Yeah.
But see, I like, even having been a trainer for so many years, I like having a trainer.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's not or so much. Yeah, it keeps me accountable to myself
Yeah.
as well. Because even as a trainer,
Yeah.
like, you can still get a bit slack
Yeah.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
like we're all human, and it's just that. Yeah, it's more the accountability and the discipline that I owe it to somebody else as well. Like, I can't just be like, oh yeah, can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, I've got this
Yeah.
training's coming up. That's just what it is. So you have to do it,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So yeah, I suppose it's sort of either way as well.
I think
like,
it's people are just different in many ways. Like for me,
I mean, I like to have it. Like, I do my own training.
yeah,
I like to have a trainer as well, and I think both, and it pushes me to those like even further.
Yeah.
Again, like with myself, I can get myself in shape,
yeah,
and like I know how to do it. But having a trainer, it's even just that little bit more.
yeah.
They can sort of push
But you need to have a crazy trainer,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
going
So
little
just that little
far.
bit,
Yeah,
that's what it is. Whereas no matter how strong your mind is and how much experience you have, you can always go that little
Yeah,
bit more. And you need a good team. It's just like having a good team.
Yeah.
Having a good team around you. Just everybody sort of working together, pushing each other. Whereas if it's in any aspect of life, you're better off going alone if you're with people who aren't going to be going as hard as you. But as soon as you can find people who are going as hard as you,
Yeah.
and you all can work together,
Yeah.
that's when you can really get the
Yeah.
sort of the results. So
yeah. If you
it's
surrender,
just a matter. Yeah, it's a matter of finding those people that are on the same page. So, because for myself, a lot of times I'll do things on my own because I don't think that I've found people at that time to work with
Yeah.
to do it, and it's worked pretty well.
Yeah.
But then it's still not to the point that it could have been if I had people to who were on the same page to bounce ideas off and use their strengths with my weaknesses to sort of just be had that entire sort of full package sort of together. Like
Yeah.
so it's it's sort of
No, I think it's very important to surround yourself with people that's better than you, or on the
or that
same
you can
level.
learn from, and you can move forward together.
Yeah.
You're always going to be better than somebody else at
Yeah.
something, and they're always going to be better than you
Yeah.
at something else. Like it's very rare that you're going to come across somebody who you're just better than them at everything.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I mean, you probably need somebody else in order to grow.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of
As long as I do like, I don't know when I had a trainer, but I do the classes and I see my who comes to classes. I see them as my trainers also, because we do what we do, and we just. But one of the most important things is when I'm training alone and I need to do 200 burpees alone.
Yeah.
When it's only me, myself, and I
Yeah.
going through that,
Yep.
it's fantastic. And I
Yeah.
hear my mind saying so many stupid things.
yeah.
And the only thing I'm thinking about is yes, don't stop.
Yep.
Just finish this now. And I get thousands of excuses in my
Yep.
mind, thousands of reasons to just. Nobody sees you. You can you quit. Nobody gonna tell you anything. You just do it, and going against this voice in your head.
Yeah, I think because I think it comes down to as well where you sort of if you feel about yourself as well. Like for me, I like to be the best. I want to be the best, and so if I'm training just by myself, there's nobody else there. Whereas if I'm training with someone else,
Yeah.
I want to be the best. If they're doing 100, I want to do 100.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
it. So that's what I like. It's that competitive, rather than it's not a competitive. To me, the competition with my own mind,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. It's the competition with somebody else, and not necessarily. Yeah, it's sort of it depends on the type of competition as well. Friendly competition,
Yeah.
but I like.
No,
I
but
like that because I hate to just be sort of left behind.
Yeah.
I hate it that somebody can do something that I can't do.
It's
And that's in
interesting.
all aspects of life. Like that's even like when I got dual citizenship here, I didn't want to live here knowing that other people had the ability to do things that I couldn't do. That's what like, you know, like I am half Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
I felt, you know, that's my right.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the fact that other people had the ability who were Sri Lankan to go to Australia and then they could get dual citizenship of both.
Yeah.
But me as an Australian whose grandparents were born here
Yeah.
couldn't come here and have both. Things like
Interesting.
that. I don't like that other people, and even like that's why people wonder why I learned how to speak pretty much fluent Sinhalese in the matter of a few years.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ability that that other people can speak English and Sinhalese, but I can only speak English if I'm living here.
Interesting
And
mind.
I don't like that other people can do things that I can't do. I just don't like it.
That's very interesting. Interesting. I'm just the opposite. Whatever you do, I don't give a single fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you do 500 burpees, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I do my 300. But and the same with Sinhala. I know language is the key, but for me, it's just ignorance is a bliss. I don't want to know what people. You want to speak to me, you speak in English.
Yeah.
You can call me. I'm like this. Annoying immigrant in Sweden that doesn't want to learn Swedish.
Yeah.
I'm the
and
same.
for
here.
me, it was also the fact that I thought it was the right thing to do. If I'm going to come here and
It
become a
is.
Sri Lankan citizen, I should learn at least one of the national languages fluently.
Yeah.
Or to like, you know, it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So, and I would find it frustrating if somebody was to come to Australia and couldn't speak a word of the national language.
Yeah.
Like I think it's rude, and I think they would make me a hypocrite to then go the other way and be like, well, I'm going to come here, but I'm not learning a single word of.
No, but
So
maybe it is. But
it's a number of things. So.
I think that's fair enough. But I already speak two languages, Swedish and
Well,
English.
well, that's the thing you speak to anyway. I only spoke one. Now I speak.
So,
of
but I
speak
can
too.
speak little Sinhala. But mostly of the people I meet, they just want to speak English.
Well, that's another thing as well. When I've been in Thailand, they want to speak Thai to you. I can't speak any Thai,
No.
so it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But it would be perfect if I could speak Thai, because there's a lot of people that you deal with, even in sort of more touristy areas, that don't speak a word of English. So it would be perfect. Whereas here, everybody speaks at least, well, not everybody, but a lot of people that you're going to deal with speak English.
Yeah.
They speak, and I suppose that's having been a British colony.
Yeah.
Most likely, it's sort of continued along the generations, whereas in Thailand,
Yeah.
it wasn't a
Yeah.
British colony. So probably comes down to that. But yeah, it would be almost in a way good because then I could use it more, and because it would probably be even better if, like, I would speak it probably better if there was more, if it was more necessary to speak more regularly. So.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. If you, but I just probably be very. No, I think it was a lot of anger. Why I didn't choose to really study Sinhala.
Yeah.
Because I was so disappointed how Sri Lankan treated me in the beginning.
Oh, it is. Like, I felt the same way a lot when I was first here. I was
you
like,
want me to learn my birth language when you treat me like this? Fuck that.
Yeah.
You want to speak to me, you speak in English then.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But if this is how you're going to treat me,
Yeah.
I don't want to listen.
I understand. I mean, it is like, it's sort of tough
Yeah.
coming here sometimes.
Because
like,
in many ways, I think Sri Lanka can be very racist.
There is, and and even within the races who are all Sri Lankan nationals.
Yeah.
Like there's like Tamils, Sinhalese, Muslims,
Yeah.
Burger.
Yeah.
You know, and so but they're like, it's not uncommon to read something, like even just on Facebook, and it will be like, we have this available only for Sinhalese or only for this, and then as well, there'll be things that are for tourists only.
Yeah.
There'll be things that are for locals only. Like, and even when you do, like, you go to official government agencies, and it will literally say, like, this price, foreigners, this price. Like, how can it, like for me, when I was sort of teaching the boxing and that, I couldn't do it. Like, I can't do it. I just can't. To me, it's just too wrong. Like, I can't bring
just one
myself
price
to.
for everybody.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to say there's different prices based on where you were born and your nationality status. I can't do it because growing up in Australia, that's like, it's just so wrong. Like, it's too wrong. Like, I would rather not do it and not even have a business. Like, I just can't. It's too. It just goes against everything that I was brought up to think. Like,
imagine you have a shop that says only white or
exactly.
only brown people
in
or
Australia,
only Chinese.
Australian citizens only, or the other way around in Australia, foreigners only.
God.
Like, your business would be shut down. You would be blacklisted from society just in general. You would get fined, and you'd probably go to jail. And you would, but you could just never show your face in society again. Whereas here, it's not like you see signs, tourists only.
Yeah.
Or to like.
I got that. It was down here. It was one family, Swedish family, who was visiting, and they lived on one of the hotels, little luxury hotels.
Yeah.
And they invited me for dinner, and I'm coming, showing up, and the guards didn't. The hotel guards or whatever you call it, they didn't let me in.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've had Sri Lankan friends who they would book like a place on Booking.com or something. Then they would come down and they would go to the place, and the place would be like, "Oh no, like we're booked out." Like when they would see them and stuff like that, and they knew that it was the place wasn't booked out, and it's crazy. It works, and it's just crazy that it goes both. Like they're racist against their own. People, like,
it was
just
so,
crazy.
and it's almost ended up in a fight, and I, do I want to fight tonight? And no, I don't want to fight to God. But I wanted to go to this dinner, so okay.
So you couldn't ring the people and just be like, "Oh, you guards."
No, I didn't have my phone with me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We decided this time because it was this hotel. So I was fuck. Then I have to go home, and I went home, get my fucking passport, and I
really
here. So call these people. They met me, and
that's crazy.
And they was just still assholes to me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I get the benefit of both. Like, because you get the NIC, like national identity card when you're a dual citizen.
Yeah.
So I got the card for all the Sri Lanka stuff. I got the Australian passport for all the. I mean, not that anybody thinks I'm Sri Lankan anyway, as it is, but
perfect mix.
I've got the perfect. It's like a combination of the two. It sort of fits together. So it's
that's interesting.
Good position to be in.
Yeah, and that was also something I was very
Oh, it is. It's real. Like it's hard to get your head around. I still can't after 7 years.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me, and it'll always be weird to me. I could never, even when my dad was here. Like he's only been here a little bit, here and there, but we were still doing some work on a few things, and there'd be the worker guys, and they didn't speak any English. He doesn't speak any Sinhalese.
Yeah.
But he would go out and like buy them beers, and like he'd come back and we're just having a bit like. But then I've spoken to other Sri Lankan people, and they don't like they're sort of almost saying that's a bad thing to do. Like you shouldn't really. And we're like, what the hell? Like my dad will go out and he'll love to just sit at the bars and just drink with like the local guys and that. But then there's sort of people like rich kind of guys, and they're saying like, "What are you doing?" Like, it's weird. It's weird. Like it's as if it's got this real class system.
I
It's
think
just,
that's
it's
also
really weird. Like whereas we don't have in Australia,
No.
we don't have that. That's not a thing. Like
No.
it doesn't exist. So you just like it's just so weird. Like,
because for me it's always been like it doesn't matter what the fuck you do or where you're coming from or what, because I when I was smoking, I smoked a joint with people that building the house for my mother, and I would smoke a joint
well, that's
with
what
some
the guy,
police
like the guy
officer
there just having a
instead.
beer,
It
like,
doesn't
like
matter.
nobody cares. Whereas there's this whole status type.
Yeah.
I think like caste. It's
Yeah.
called like a caste system. It's really strange. Like it's just. I mean, I think it is actually normal in a lot of parts of the world.
Yeah.
It's just not something that I'm used to.
No, I'm
like,
not
it's
really
It's just not. It's
used to it either. I just think it's weird.
yeah.
Because for me, it doesn't matter. It's like when when people are angry and want to fight. You don't know who I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but now it's you and
It's
me
you,
here.
yeah, I know,
Where
I know.
you gonna
Yeah.
call people now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you in. You need
Like,
to
we gotta
call them.
in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I know.
So you better gather your friends now because now it's just you and me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who you are or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, it's
so
very
fun.
sort of old school type
Yeah.
way of thinking. Like, because I know even my grandpa. So he was a train driver when they were here, and it just went down the generations. And he would even say, like, he wouldn't sit. We don't sit in that carriage with them. We sit up here.
Yeah.
Like, and he, like, years later when he would tell us sort of stories, no, we don't sit with them.
Yeah.
We sit up here. We don't associate with their kind.
Yeah.
Where it's just a part of the culture here. It's
Yeah.
and even all those years ago, and it's still here in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
so.
it's such a different with the cultures, and I love it now when I see not these particular things, but the difference when you really can just whoa.
Oh, it is.
such
It's really like eye opening to sort of see just the different, and they all like even I don't know how much bureaucracy stuff you've dealt with here in the government sort of buildings and agencies.
A little.
You'll be in line. Well, they don't here. Lines aren't really that people just push in.
Yeah.
But you'll be in line even at the immigration. There'll be some guy in a business suit walks around everybody and then just pays and then leaves.
Yeah.
And they're all fine with it.
Yeah.
In Australia, if you did that, you're going to get it's
same.
not going to end well for you if you tried to just push in front of a whole line of people. But here they do it, and it's just accepted. It's completely fine. People just it's just weird, like because even times like that, because nobody else does. If nobody else does anything, so I'm sort of like, am I meant to say like, is this normal? Like, am I meant to say something? But no, everyone's just standing there, and I'm like, I don't really want to. This was years ago when I'd sort of, younger and first moved here and that. But I'm like, is this normal? So
I think that.
Yeah,
It's.
well, we're over an hour.
Whoa.
So what do you reckon we're?
Yeah.
We saw this was a bit of a combination of a few different things.
Yeah.
This one, I suppose. So
Everything from drugs to Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, yeah. Well, I mean, that's more what it sort of will be like. Sort of picking topics to discuss here that a lot of people won't really understand. Like if you're a tourist who's here for a couple of weeks, you're not really going to understand the long-term things here. If you're born here and you've grown up here, you will understand it, but that will be normal to you.
Yeah.
So you won't really then see.
Yeah.
And even just a normal expat, I mean, even if they've been here for a long time, they're not Sri Lankan
No.
in the way that we
No.
sort of are. Like we're sort of in this mid
Yeah.
weird sort of mix of a bit of both things, and it's a really strange.
No, I
Good position though. I like it. So it's,
Yeah,
it's good. I have no complaints about anything in the long run because I'm very blessed. Like combined with hard work,
Yeah,
like it's a combination of everything,
Yeah.
but it just sort of everything.
it's an experience.
yeah.
A human experience.
Yep.
That's what we want.
Yep.
And it's ups and downs. It's a roller coaster many times.
It is.
That's,
So. Yep.
I guess we see you next time.
Yep. We'll
Yeah.
see you next video.
Let's go surf.
Yeah.
Yep.